Dragon here, after action report, video snippet here for Operation Bombshell held at Dog Patch USA just yesterday. Um, some of the things that I thought may have contributed to any negative aspects, and I'm not trying to be negative, this is like ideas, constructive criticism type of thing on this after action report. I think one of the issues that we had out there was most of us were disallowed full auto. That was the ranges were actually quite long in a lot of aspects and in a lot of areas where we were shooting. That led to a little bit of a distortion in the shooting aspects that people were doing. I mean, I know I myself is like, there were several times that I said, like, I'd really like to switch to full auto and send a burst down this area. And instead, I had to semi-auto the whole time. And I thought that it wasn't quite as realistic of an event that way. Not allowing your main infantry forces to use full auto, I think, hindered both teams' abilities to push in areas past these bottlenecks. You know, I don't think it would have made a huge difference, but I think that it would have made enough difference that it would have changed the gameplay significantly. The shooting ranges were, some of them were quite long. There were many times where I was, using my scope and using my ticks to range distances between players or whatever. Yes, I was running a scope on my M4. No, it's not an SPR, it's just an M4. But I do so that way I get a good close-up view of targets and where BBs are traveling, or I can sit there and watch them at a distance or whatever, see if they are being hit by somebody else. There's a whole number of reasons why, I had the scope on the M4. It had nothing to do with running the DMR, and no, I did not play a sniping role in this event at all. But, the shooting ranges were quite long in a lot of aspects. They were a lot longer than what a lot of players were getting frustrated out there, and and screaming at other players, about calling their hits, call your hits. And that's not the way the Outlaws do that. You don't tell somebody else, hey, take your hit, whatever. That you just ask, are you hit? And if they don't acknowledge it, then shoot them again. That's how it's supposed to be done. But that wasn't being done, and people were getting mad and frustrated at other players. I even had quite a few of them get frustrated at me. I forgot that I wasn't wearing my my admin rag, and I come out of a wood line or whatever, and I'm standing there on the road, and I'm wearing my tan uniform, and this green guy shooting down the road, and his BBs are dropping like 40 feet in front of me. I mean, I could see every shot that he was sending my way. Yeah, some of them did hit the road pavement and bounce and go past me, but they weren't direct shots. We don't count ricochets in what we do. And none of them actually touched me either. But if I hit from his perspective, he thought he was actually, getting down there. I stuck my scope up and I looked, and I'm like, well, he's over 400 feet away from me. I can't even make that shot, I couldn't make that shot with my sniping rifle. So, he was frustrated or whatever. And it's like, I shot a couple BBs down that way just to see if it would carry that far or whatever. I had to elevate up and stuff to do it, but I got a couple that far, but there was like no way to be accurate enough to even hit a full-size person at that distance. I mean, if you did, it would have been extreme luck. And extreme lucky. But that led to some frustration from players. I want to chalk all that, hey, call your hits and getting mad, and the few that were cussing other players, that was unacceptable. There was a little bit of bad sportsmanship going on out there on both sides, and I didn't quite agree with it. I didn't like it. Even myself is like, there after the first part of the first event, operation that went on there, I quit playing myself because I was getting aggravated at everybody else being aggravated. So, I just pulled my admin rag and started adminning from there. Went back and took a breather back at the Bennett's booth. Anyways, that wraps up this segment of the AAR, and I will do another one here in a minute.